Prepare to step into a world where imagination knows no bounds as we present Legends, Loot, and Lore. Join your hosts, Andrew and Joe, the dice-rolling dynamic duo who will guide you every step of the way into the realm of Dungeons & Dragons. From crafting narratives to character creation, this podcast is your gateway to becoming the hero of your own story. Whether you're a new adventurer or a seasoned traveler seeking new insights, Legends, Loot, and Lore has something for everyone. After the episode, visit our website at www.legendslootandlore.com for even more resources and exclusive content. And if you're as passionate about this adventure as we are, help support our quest at legendslootandlore.supercast.com. Embark on this odyssey with us and let the echoes of ancient tales guide you toward a destiny filled with limitless possibilities. Roll for initiative, because your adventure begins now.
Welcome back to now Season 2 of Legends, Loot, and Lore for 2024. We are back, and we are ready to talk all things Dungeons & Dragons. We are going to start off every month now with an episode of actual play. We are going to be playing Phandelver and Below,
Yippee.
the Shattered Obelisk. Exactly. Very exciting. With me today are two of the players. We're kind of doing a session zero sort of in preparation for this. We will next episode will be the actual play with our third person, James. He will be joining us.
Woo.
Yes. And so today I want to talk about kind of the setup for Phandelver and Below. I'll give a little bit of the backstory. We are using the official. This is my first time DMing a full campaign. This is also my first time doing like a full in-person campaign. So this is very exciting for me as a D&D player. I kind of Christmased myself the Legendary Edition from Beadle and Grimm's. I am so excited. This is the most incredible box set ever of items for Phandelver and Below. So it's a little pricey. It's like $350, but I got to tell you, a little pricey.
Just a little.
Just a little. Just a tad bit pricey, but it's worth it. The goodies that they give you, they give you all of the encounter cards. So for all the different monsters that you encounter throughout the campaign, they give you the cards, so you have all the stat blocks and all of those readily available. They give some great maps. They give some handouts, so the players are going to be getting a bunch of different handouts throughout the game to kind of add some flavor to that. So I'm looking forward to that. There's some other items, some other not magical items, but there are some other physical items in the box that can be handed out. So there's all sorts of cool things. I am super psyched. I've got my DM screen up here. I've got a laptop. I've got so much equipment around me. But anyway, very excited. So today we've got Catherine and Fable here with us.
Dynamic duo.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the dynamic?
We are a dynamic duo.
A dynamic duo.
Absolutely.
Not the dynamic duo, but a dynamic duo. Excellent. I am very excited.
Also, probably a little bit of trouble.
Definitely trouble.
Just a tad.
The two of you are definitely trouble together. So we are going to talk about each of your characters, and we'll dive into your backstories a little bit. We'll talk about the characters themselves. These are the character that Catherine is playing. You're playing Zanros Bemblebomble.
Yep.
Which was, if you recall, which is one of the characters we created, which is a monk.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And what?
A rock gnome?
A rock gnome monk, yes. So this is the melee character that we built in an earlier episode of last season. So Catherine will be playing that. Fable, what's the name of your character, Fable?
Dal.
Dal, yes. So Dal is a tiefling. Surprise, surprise.
So shocking.
Right? a tiefling cleric, so we'll talk about your character as well. I'm going to give some background into Phandelver and Below to give everybody a little bit of history as to what the story is. If you're not familiar, really the first half of Phandelver and Below is the starting pack of what was the Lost Mines of Phandelver. So the first half of this overarching campaign is really kind of a reimagining of... I don't even remember where I was.
Sorry.
That's all right. So, as I was saying... Oh, you too. I'm going to regret this. So...
You've been saying that for almost 18 years.
I know. We've been together 21 years.
I know. I'm just saying since we got married.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't regret the first 3 years. And
No.
then something at some point made me regret this entirely. No, not at all. So the first half of Phandelver and Below is a reimagining of the Lost Mines of Phandelver. So it really takes all that content and kind of weaves it into a larger story, which is about the Shattered Obelisk and all that fun stuff. So that's part 2 of the campaign. So really chapters 1 through 4 are the Lost Mines of Phandelver. And then we get into the second half, which is really talking about the Shattered Obelisk and what that means and what they have to do to try to beat the big bad evil guy. All right, so let's dive into... I want to get a little bit into the background here. So this takes place on the Sword Coast. So if you're familiar at all with D&D settings, this is on the Sword Coast, just a little bit south of... These two are not familiar at all with the Sword Coast, which is fine. I don't
do homebrew.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
I'm just here for snacks.
You're here for the snacks. That's right. Right on. So, takes place on the Sword Coast. Phandalin or Phandalin, depending on how you like to pronounce it. I've heard it both ways. Phandalin is just a little bit south of Neverwinter. There is the high road. The high road leads south from Neverwinter. And then there's the Tribor Trail, which heads east off of the high road. And then after you're on the Tribor Trail for a little bit, you go south and you head toward Phandalin. And that's where this adventure is. So nestled on the northern Sword Coast between Neverwinter Wood and the Sword Mountains is the town of Phandalin. Centuries ago, Phandalin was a thriving settlement with deep ties to its neighboring communities, but then bandits overran the town and Phandalin lay abandoned for centuries. Only in the past few years have settlers built a new village on the ruins of the old. These townsfolk hope to grow Phandalin through hard work, camaraderie, and the shared purpose of building a lasting home. Threatening their efforts and their survival are bandits and monsters. Ooh, bandits and monsters. Goblins. Ne'er-do-wells.
Oh no, not ne'er-do-wells.
Yes, ne'er-do-wells.
They ne'er do well.
When do they do well?
Ne'er.
Exactly.
I've never heard of those.
You've never heard of ne'er-do-wells?
No.
Oh, well,
They're
see.
just people who ne'er do well.
They just ne'er do well. See, some people do well, they ne'er do well.
Got it.
We're going straight Gary Goldman right now.
Love you, Gary. All right, so let's talk a little bit about so what is happening is our 3 adventurers are somehow, some way in their own storyline leaving Neverwinter and heading down to Phandalin. So, Fable, let's start with you. So let's talk about your character a little bit first. So Dal Solace.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us your feeling for who Dal is. What prompted you? Tell me again, because our listeners may not know. What prompted you to make this character, and tell us a little bit about their background and let's figure out how they got to Neverwinter.
Well, I made Dal because I wanted to make a Tiefling cleric, and I think that's all that needs saying. But I themed them after the moon because they worship the, I'm not going to say the name right, the Moon Maiden.
The Moon Maiden. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Okay.
And they're a bit reserved. Mm-hmm. I'm going to work on the personality a bit. But they're off by themselves. They're a hermit. They're kind of doing their own thing in the woods of Neverwinter.
So you chose the hermit background for yes. Dal. And so Dal normally lives in the Neverwinter Woods. Mm-hmm. Got it. So I know you've been working on this, so tell us a little bit about Dal's living situation in the Neverwinter Woods.
Are you going to post a picture of the house?
I will post a picture of the house, absolutely.
Great. I drew an adorable little house, and they're kind of living, where'd we say, where that stream is, the river. It's kind of circled by the water.
Yeah, so there are several, I won't say tributaries, but there are several branches of the river that flow out to the sea through Neverwinter. Coming out of the mountains are these rivers, but there's kind of where the rivers start to meet. There's kind of almost an island.
Yeah,
in the middle.
On 3 sides, it's covered by
a peninsula. Peninsula.
I wouldn't know.
Sure, but anyway, there's kind of an isolated sort of island in the middle.
Yeah,
and that's where Dal chose to
Dal
reside. As that's their. Where does a hermit live?
A hermitage.
That's right. So that's where Dal lives. That's very exciting. So what is Dal's relationship to Neverwinter?
Well, I think they were living there when they were younger,
mm-hmm.
but something happened, and they decided they wanted to get out of the city and live in solitude.
I see. Okay, do you know yet what that is that happened to them, or is that to be determined?
Started writing, didn't finish it, probably going to change it. So
got it. Okay, so something happened. So Dal was a city dweller of Neverwinter, and something caused them to leave abandon the city, mm-hmm. and take up residence in the Neverwinter Wood, building their hermitage.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So does Dal still go back into the city? Like what does Dal do now?
They occasionally go back into the city when they need like essential supplies, and
mm-hmm.
also to hear what's going on, like the gossip, like what's new.
So Dal's into the hot goss. She wants to know what's what.
Occasionally.
Interesting. Is Dal someone who would watch like reality TV?
No, it's more stuff pertaining to information.
She reads like Us Magazine?
Oh.
No?
She sounds a little bit more like an intelligence agent to me.
I see. So it's not necessarily gossip. It's like information mm-hmm. that way. I see. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
A little gossip's fun too, though.
A little gossip is always fun.
Do they get Us Weekly in Phandalin?
I don't know.
I mean, you brought it up, so I was something.
And no, in Neverwinter, maybe there is a version of Us Fortnightly. I don't know.
Us Fortnightly.
Not Fortnite.
Not a Fortnite?
And instead of people, it's creatures?
It could be. Well, there's humans. There's a lot of humans in Neverwinter.
I know, but do you want to exclude everyone else?
No, that's us. Whoa. Us is everyone. Okay. I'm not excluding anyone.
But people and us both exist. So, like, there can't be 2 magazines? There's just the one?
There could be people. So you have, like, Creature Magazine?
Yeah.
That's a sincere possibility.
Okay.
Monster Monthly? I mean, I
like that.
Right? Monster Monthly? What's going on?
Nice.
Absolutely. What's going on with the red brands? What's going on with the Cragmaw goblins? We want to know. We need some information.
I apparently need information about all of those because I don't know
Drow
what any of them
Digest.
are.
You'll find out.
Uh-huh.
That's why.
Cool.
I'm just dropping hints as to what you can expect in the upcoming weeks and months when we're playing this game.
I better tell James to listen to this podcast then.
Yes, James.
Hello, James.
Hi.
So okay, so Dal is an information seeker / partial gossip. Totally cool. So, and what else is Dal doing in Neverwinter?
Well, some supplies you can't
Some
find
supplies,
out in a while.
okay.
You gotta go to the city.
Got it. Okay, well, like what type of supplies?
Jeez.
I understand. I'm really quizzing you now. I want to get deep on this character. Textiles. Okay, that makes sense. Like curtains for the windows, or bedding, or what about because I mean
and parchment paper,
bandages.
Yeah, medical supplies.
Medical supplies because Dal is
A healer.
She is a healer, and Dal is a she.
Yeah.
That's their pronouns. I want to make sure I get this right. Okay.
Well, followers of the Moon Maiden are basically their whole thing's like be nice to people, and whenever someone needs help, you have to help them. It's like obligation.
Interesting. That could be very interesting. So what will so if you have an encounter and you're fighting creatures and one of them is not yet dead but partially like hurt, would Dal help them as well?
It depends.
Do they have to ask for help? Like what's
Well,
like how committed is Dal to being a healer?
Well, it's like help people, but if they're gonna hurt you, then it's like protect yourself first.
So you gotta protect.
Maybe they'd put them out of their misery.
Well,
What?
that escalated quickly. Wow, just putting them down like.
Fable's ruthless.
Really? Wow. I was like, yikes. All right. Okay, so Dal goes into Neverwinter and picking up supplies, gathering information. What has well, let's go back to some of the basics though. So what does Dal look like?
They are entirely purple. Like,
Entirely one shade or multi-shade?
well, they're like a dusty purple.
Are we talking like Grimace purple or like we talking
No,
a
it's
nice
Grimace purple. I don't.
Google Grimace?
Oh wait, I think I know what he looks like. There's a TikTok trend of him killing people.
Yes,
His drink.
Grimace shake.
The Grimace
Yes.
shake.
We're cool. We're hip.
No, it's not Grimace color.
So Dal does not look like Grimace, color-wise at least. Okay.
No, they don't.
Okay. We've established that.
They have long, like, darker purple horns, like a brightish purple.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, periwinkle. Is that what I said? Periwinkle?
Yeah, I think you said periwinkle.
Like, braids that kind of fade down into a bit of a darker purple.
Cool.
And they're tall.
How tall is Dal? Remind me, without the horns, how tall is Dal?
Without the horns.
Did you say 5'11"?
No, I think it was like, wait, I have it in here. 6'5".
6'5" with the horns or without?
Without the horns.
Without the horns.
I think I did the math, and it was like 7 foot with the horns.
Wow.
I can double check.
That is going to. I have to remember these things because this is going to be interesting when.
I'll write it in the notes.
Yeah, when Dal walks into town,
Tall.
Dal is hard to miss because there aren't that many tieflings around to begin with, and then a 7 foot something
Bright purple
tiefling is going to gain some attention from people. I think
That's why they live in the middle of nowhere.
okay, well that makes perfect sense. All right, excellent. So we know what Dal looks like. We know we have the background on who Dal is. So tell us what happened to make Dal want to go to Phandalin?
Well, they, on one of their trips into Neverwinter, they heard something about Sister, what's her name? Sister G is what I wrote down.
Oh, I have to look it up. Hang on. Keep going. I'll look it up.
I swear I wrote it down. I'll find it somewhere. But they heard that she has some information pertaining the Moon Maiden, which is her deity, perhaps an artifact or a text. She doesn't quite know yet. And she wants to go and check it out. So, and that's her reason for going to Phandelver, or Phandalin.
All right. I want to see. Oh, Sister Garaele.
Yeah.
Sister Garaele. So Sister Garaele, let's see. Oh, is an elf cleric. So Sister Garaele is an elf cleric of Timora and a Harper agent. Mm-hmm. And you're looking for what?
Information on the Moon Maiden.
Information on the Moon Maiden. Okay. This is going to be very interesting. I'm looking at you, Catherine.
Why?
You're up next. Excellent. So Dal is going to be heading to Phandalin to try to meet up with Sister Garaele and figure out what's going on. That's really good because you like to gather information. See, that's you fit in really well with the Harpers. Just keep that in mind.
Noted.
Just saying. Catherine.
Andrew.
Yes.
What's up?
What is up? That's
The sky.
Fable. Thank you, Fable. Fable has the answer to what is up. Here at the ceiling.
Oh,
There it is.
The
There.
sky's above the ceiling. We just can't see it.
That's right. Somewhere up there. So tell us about, because you kind of got thrust into being Zanros Bemblebomble.
Sure did.
So what do you know about Zanros? I'm going to bring up the character sheet over here so I can see it as well. Let's see, where is Zanros?
So
Zanros.
What do I know about Zanros Bemblebomble? Female rock gnome.
Yes.
Monk.
A monk. Martial artist. That's
Yes.
going to be fun.
Of noble birth.
Yes.
So welcome in high society. But also apparently tend to stick my foot in my mouth because there's something in my backstory that says, by my words and actions, I often bring shame to my family.
That is correct.
I know.
So if you take a look at your stats, your abilities at the top of your character sheet, you'll notice that your charisma score is an 8.
Yes.
Which is very low, which is not very low. It's below average. Figure 10 is average
Right.
charisma. So you have a slight disadvantage on your charisma. So you tend to stick your foot in your mouth when saying things. So things like I'm trying to think, intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
You're not very intimidating.
No. Well, I'm 3'5".
Very true. So even height wise, you're not intimidating.
Yeah.
I've known some intimidating rock gnomes in my life.
I weigh 29 pounds. How intimidating can I be?
I can throw you at people.
I mean, yeah.
Flying rock gnome attack.
Nice.
That'll have them scared.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was thinking like a spinning fling. Like
A spinning fling.
Like a
yeah,
wind up and
like a wind up.
Maybe
chuck.
maybe tie like a rope around the feet, and then swing, and then just like
but then my
head
feet
first.
Are tied when
Yeah,
I land.
that's not good. I can just.
But it'll be loose, like
No,
like a lasso knot.
I can
Like
grab her by the leg. She's
like
29 pounds.
it's a slip knot. It's easy to get out of.
I love that band.
What's that?
Slipknot.
Oh yes,
Slipknot.
yeah, you do. Oh, that's great.
Okay. Well, I mean, and honestly, Dal flinging me wouldn't be the worst thing because I have like a +6 in acrobatics.
There we go. We can make this work. We can make this a move.
There's going to be like some flips and some twists, and I'm wait, does Neverwinter have Olympics?
Yes. You should join the Olympics.
There's going to be no gnome throwing in the Olympics.
Well, I was thinking more about my floor routine.
Your floor routine. Rhythmic gymnastics.
I mean, I don't really think that a gnome has the appropriate look for rhythmic gymnastics, but I feel like I could bang out a badass floor routine.
I bet you could.
I think you could.
I would like to see that happen. I will make sure that happens in some way, shape, or form.
I want to see it.
There is going to be like a challenge. Instead of you can either battle this monster or compete in an Olympic style challenge against a monster to do a gymnastic floor routine.
It's the gymnastic version of a dance off.
I think of this like I think of this more like Bill and Ted's. Mm-hmm. You know, when they play Battleship with the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
You sank my battleship.
Yep.
So it's gonna like maybe that'll be the ultimate battle, like the end, like the ultimate to win, like to defeat the really big bad guy. You're gonna have to do a gymnastic routine to save the whole party.
Are we allowed to know who the big bad guy is?
No.
See, that might be the one thing I like about Strahd is you just know it's Strahd from the very beginning.
It's Strahd.
Who's the bad guy? Strahd.
Yes.
Cool.
Strahd is the bad guy.
What else should we talk about with my character?
So like a couple things about your character. So let me go back into this and remember what we were talking about. So yeah, so you got the noble background, which is great. Mm-hmm. I love the thing about we put in the personality traits. So we picked the personality. We didn't pick it, but I mean, the whole thing about no one could doubt by looking at your regal bearing that you are a cut above the unwashed masses. So
this is why I'm putting my foot in my mouth. The unwashed masses.
You dress really well. Mm-hmm. And I love this whole thing. If you do me an injury, I will crush you, ruin your name, and salt your fields.
Nice.
Again, you hold nothing back.
Right.
Which is amazing.
Except a grudge. I do hold a grudge.
You do hold a grudge. But that's great because, you know, if someone crosses you, mm-hmm. you are not to be trifled with. So that remember that when you're playing your character.
Yep.
So if somebody does something to you to like offend you, you take no prisoners.
You can cut a bitch up.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Fable. Mm-hmm. Yes. But remember your ideals, you're very independent. Mm-hmm. So remember that again when you're interacting with the other people in your party.
Yeah.
You're a very independent person. So let's see how that plays into it. So you're going to have to work together with your party to help defeat, in encounters, helping defeat enemies and things like that. Mm-hmm. But you're also very independent. So do you want to be the leader, or do you want to just Leroy Jenkins it and run right into battle without consulting your adventuring party about what to do? So think about how that independence plays into Zanros's actions when you're playing.
I mean, I feel like I could hold you back. You're like the size of Perita.
Yeah, exactly. Hold me back. Hold me back.
That's right. And interestingly enough, bonds, nothing is more important than the other members of your family.
Right.
So maybe this is your chosen family. So maybe you're fiercely independent, mm-hmm. but also very protective of those. So maybe that comes into play, not necessarily to begin with. So that could be a nice, really character arc for you, that to begin with, you're very independent and not necessarily play nicely with others, but as this party kind of gels together, maybe they become your family because you're out on your own now. So this is now your new family. And with Vin Diesel, family.
No, see, I was going Guardians of the Galaxy
Guardians
because
of
I
the
feel like
Galaxy.
I'm maybe a little like Drax.
Ah, like Drax. Interesting.
You know, like
okay.
he kind of sticks his foot in his mouth because he doesn't really get it.
Right.
But like very loyal to the other Guardians.
Yes.
He'll put his life on the line for them.
Right.
So I feel like maybe that's Zanros.
I like that. I like that. That works out well.
Zanros?
Zanros.
I have to practice for the first time. I have to yell, Zanros Bemblebomble!
That's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot. Like
it's a long name.
You're going to get clocked in the head before you even get that out. It's like Zanros Bemble whack.
Zanros Bemble blah.
You got to come up with like a nickname or something.
I'm Z-Dog.
Z-Bem. Z-Bem out, and just go at it. Just something. You're gonna have to come up with something shorter than Bemblebomble because that's just a mouthful.
I love Bemblebomble.
You go bam bomb, punch him.
There you go. Something like that. You gotta.
I'll workshop
that. Workshop that. You got a week before we record the next episode, so you're good.
Okay.
Other things on here. Let's see. Yeah, and like you said, the flaw is, by my words and actions, I often bring shame to my family.
Right.
So,
in the same way that Drax embarrasses the Guardians.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So I think he says a lot of things that get people into trouble, and I like that. I like that a lot.
Awesome.
So have you thought any about what your character is doing in Neverwinter?
So I think what we had talked about is that because she comes from a noble family,
yes,
that the family has property in Phandalin.
Oh, that's right. I think we did talk about that.
And she has to go and, I don't know, check in on the property for some reason. So that's how she ends up there.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Let's see. Nope,
she has to go to Bemblebomble Estate in the Phandalin region.
The Bemblebomble Estate.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, purveyors of fine something.
Let's see. So you are the noble. Yeah. So So we talked about this. Yeah. In the book, it says your family is based in Neverwinter, but owns property throughout the Sword Coast region.
Obviously.
You recently inherited a cottage in Phandalin.
Oh, nice.
And must inspect the place before you decide to keep or sell it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. So
you don't know how you feel about the Bemblebomble B&B?
I love that. You should do that.
Bemblebomble B&B.
Yeah.
Excellent. Love it.
Write that down.
I won't forget that alliteration. Bemblebomble B&B.
Love the enthusiasm.
He loves the enthusiasm, but not the idea. Fable.
I love the idea.
I love the idea.
I love everything about it. I'm just the lead up to it.
Yeah.
Because remember, there was an established town here before. So does the Bemblebomble family have previous claim to some of the land? So maybe you found out that someone is trying to build on the land that belonged to your family because they figured that because this is a new settlement that's kind of being built here.
Yeah.
So maybe you're going down to try to straighten out whoever's on the land to let them know that it's really your family's land. And you intend to build on it,
right.
The Bemblebomble B&B.
Because that plays back into my fiercely independent nature,
right.
Where I've decided that I want to kind of strike out on my own for
right.
my family and
right.
open a B&B, because who doesn't want a 3'5", 29-pound rock gnome as their proprietress?
Absolutely. I completely agree. I think it's a great story.
I mean, how long do rock gnomes live? Because she's 55.
350 to 500 years.
Yeah, see, so she's 55. She's a young woman.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you, Fable.
She is
Fable is very proud of themselves right
That
now.
that was impressive. Like, I think you're lying, but I feel like you said
really?
it. I feel
Go
like
check it.
I feel
Go
like you said it
check
with
it.
such confidence.
Oh boy.
No. Like I feel like it's just a person that was like that says something like so confidently. I believe you. Like, but I'm saying like it just came off like this is what it is.
Slam. Oh, and man, you made Fable leave.
Wow.
I can't work under these conditions. That's gonna be you screaming after I do a bimble bam and I walk away.
Bimble bam.
You're gonna open the door.
Bimble bop. I'm out of here.
After you bimble bop, you're gonna bimble bounce.
Wow.
We're gonna be a great duo.
Uh-huh.
This is a nightmare. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the chaos that ensues.
I'm gonna play my character straight, like.
Oh no, I know. You're a thespian. You are.
I am not a thespian.
You are. You're very good. You say you're not, but like I know you are.
Well, look, I've never been.
You've never been, but you have the ability.
I suppose. And Fable, I mean, Fable has a few really key roles in the SpongeBob musical, so.
Yes.
Why'd you gotta bring that up?
Because it's very important to your acting ability.
I'm a cowboy fish.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be holding a umbrella that looks like a jellyfish. I don't think that's key.
Key. And you get to sing some of my favorite songs.
So you're gonna be a cowboy fish
I'm gonna be a cowboy fish.
and
Howdy,
a jellyfish.
And a jellyfish.
So what is your cowboy fish's backstory? Does a cowboy fish have a family?
They're a squirrel from Texas.
Your cowboy fish is a squirrel from Texas.
Well, they're technically squirrels.
They're technically
In the script, they're squirrels backing up Sandy in her
Right.
number.
excellent.
But I mean, we can't really take off the fish clothes, which are just
Right.
basically swimwear. So we're
Right.
just gonna slap some cowboy boots on and yeehaw.
Nice. So you're an underwater squirrel. So what? So
I mean, you've seen Sandy Cheeks, right?
I know Sandy Cheeks.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with
Well,
SpongeBob.
I mean, you sound like you don't know what it is, and I'm confused.
No, but I don't know what the cowboy fish are. So I'm trying to understand this.
see.
So are you a family of underwater squirrels? Like, what's the?
I have no clue.
We are making Fable decidedly uncomfortable right
And I'm-
now.
Help me. I want a bimple bounce, please.
Bimble bounce.
So Catherine, let's go
Yes.
back. Let's go back to your character. So
We'll leave you alone.
Thanks.
So you're gonna head. So let's play around with this a little bit. So
Yes.
so ultimately, what is going to be what's going to drive you to? Because it's your decision. I'm just throwing out some suggestions. So
I feel like
it's your character.
perhaps my family heard that someone was trying to develop on our land, but they don't care because they own property everywhere, and this
Right.
is this far away?
It's like a day's journey.
Okay.
So it's not terribly far, but Phandalin isn't like a big bustling town.
Right.
It's not.
So it's far enough that they're like, we don't really care.
Right.
And I, Zanros Bemblebomble, care very much because I'm like, oh, this is my opportunity to make something of myself, to separate myself a little bit from my family and go out on my own.
Right.
So I feel like perhaps the dream of opening the B&B, she's going to make sure that she exerts her claim on the land.
Right.
And then, starts thinking about building her B&B, and then perhaps decides that traveling with this unlikely troop of folks, weirdos.
Yes. Misfits.
Yeah,
Rascals.
will
A motley crew.
help her meet some additional
they're no
people who
Slipknot,
may want
but-
to come stay at her B&B.
Mm-hmm.
A range of people that she would not have met otherwise.
See, because this could be a way of getting treasure as a reward for helping, and
yeah, because maybe she wants to build everything on her own rather than using her family's fortune to do so.
Because there will be, just a heads up, there will be a threat to Phandalin itself, to the town and the people of Phandalin.
Okay.
So,
and that threatens the Bemblebomble B&B.
That could certainly threaten the Bemblebomble B&B.
The BBB&B.
You can't stand for that.
No, can't stand for that.
The BBB&B?
The BBB&B.
That's a lot of bees.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Numerous bees.
So many bees.
Excellent. So, okay, that's great. So we've got your stories as to what's going to happen to the how you're getting from Neverwinter to Phandalin. So this is really exciting. So there's going to be this is really helpful to me because knowing your backstories, knowing what you want to work on, this will help me craft and incorporate your characters and your backstories into the story itself. So this is very exciting for me. Yeah, I got to figure out how to work in the B&B. I have an idea. I have a very, very strong idea for the B&B.
Well then.
Yes.
Fancy.
Yes. So, because I want to look up the map for Phandalin.
I'm actually pretty excited about the Bemblebomble B&B.
As you should be. That sounds awesome.
Oh, here. Wait, where's the map?
I could draw
need
you
the map.
something.
Ooh.
Maybe.
I will need plans for the B&B.
I can do a mad floor plan.
Nice.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see. I'm trying to bring up the map of Phandalin so I can see. I got the map of the whole area, the Sword Coast. But okay, here's the map. So I have. Yeah, I've got a really good idea for this. Do you remember? Did you play? No, you didn't. You didn't play Mines of Phandelver with us, did you?
No.
Okay, so in Phandelver is the Tresender Manor already, and it says more a castle than a house. Tresender Manor stands at the east edge of town on a low hillside amid woods and thickets. The ancient manor has long been abandoned, but its cellars have been converted into a red brand stronghold. If the characters investigate this place, you may find some interesting things going on there. So maybe you heard that the red brands had been, maybe this Tresender Manor is what was in your family's possession, that property.
Yeah.
And you've heard that the red brands are someone has kind of squatted there, and you want to clear them out and convert the manor into a B&B.
Yeah, clearly.
Maybe that would be a good tie-in to the story.
I like it.
Okay, so we'll play it that way.
Yeah.
You have to talk to Kat. Because I think Kat inherited Tresender Manor when we played Mines of Phandelver.
Cool.
If I recall correctly. But anyway, so maybe that'll be your. Maybe that's how maybe that'll be the hook into the rest of the story. So anyway, on the map, I've laid out. They gave a nice with the Beetle and Grimm's Phandelver box. There's a nice canvas printed map. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is nice. But
this will show you a lot of the locations where you're going to end up over the course of the campaign. Hi, Dee Dee. One of the things that I notice on the map is Icespire Peak. Because with Joe, we played Dragon of Icespire Peak.
That's northeast of the S-word mountains.
S-words.
S-words.
For 600, Alex. But anyway, yeah, so initially what's going to happen is your characters will leave. Some will work it to get all your characters together. Mm-hmm. And your characters will leave Neverwinter. So your characters will somehow, probably at a tavern. So typical. Probably at a tavern. Your characters will come together and make your way to Phandalin. And from there, hijinks will ensue. I'm very excited. So I don't know if I officially told both of you. So I was a little concerned. With the campaign that there was only three people in the party. So
I think you told me.
Yeah, I think I mentioned, but I haven't mentioned to anybody on the podcast. So I was trying to come up with a way of kind of beefing up the party a little bit without having to always like dumb down the encounters for you, like reduce the amount of enemies you are fighting. So to try to make it more interesting that way, there are, I think in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, there are rules for creating and having a sidekick. And I sort of follow those rules, but I kind of homebrewed a sidekick because James, as Catherine knows, I think Fable, you've seen James's dog, Callie, the beautiful German Shepherd. So I homebrewed a dire wolf character that will be James's Iquium. Iquium is his character. What is that? A warlock? A human warlock, I believe.
Warlock.
I believe Iquium is a human warlock.
So 20 years old.
20-year-old human warlock. Thank you. So James' character Iquium is going to have a dire wolf sidekick / pet / companion named Callie, who eerily looks like his German Shepherd. Mm-hmm. So this will help the party out greatly in your encounters when you're encountering the goblins and other things along the way.
Is the dog going to eat me? I'm very small.
I can fight him off. Maybe.
The dog is at least twice your size.
Is the dog going to eat me? I'm very small.
The dog is not.
I just lift you up.
I will. Hang on. Oh, you don't have your dice, do you?
They're in the living room. You want me to get them?
Yeah, get your dice.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, no, don't do it. I'm going to give you some dice.
Fable, would you grab my dice? There's 2 boxes on the coffee table in the living room. Thank you.
There are many boxes on the coffee table in the living room.
Well, there's 2 boxes that are mine on the coffee table.
I see. All right, so let's see. So where's
the right 2 boxes?
Zanros? Okay.
What am I rolling?
So you need your D20 for this.
Okay.
Let's do an animal handling check.
Okay.
See if the dog eats you. The dire wolf eats you.
12.
But you get a +1.
Uh-huh.
So a 13.
13.
And I'll use my new dice. I'm going to use some new dice to roll. I'm going to roll for Callie the dire wolf. Mm-hmm. Hang on.
Dog's gonna eat me.
I think the dog might eat you. Hang on, I got to get to extras. Callie. Okay, so. Oh. Well, so what is that? Wisdom? Only +1. That's a +1. So, all right. So I'm going to roll against. So you had a 13?
Yes.
Well, Callie rolled a nat 1.
Oh.
So
The dog's not going to eat me. The dog's not going to eat me.
The dog kind of unwittingly puts its mouth like on the top of your head and doesn't eat you, just kind of slobbers all over you.
Okay.
But the dog is very happy to meet you. So
Excellent.
Just like this.
the dire wolf will not eat you. And besides, the Callie is lawful good.
Okay.
So Callie is not an enemy. This is the first time you're meeting Callie, so interesting. I want to see. They don't have like a description of. They say it's a first level large beast.
By the way,
Yes.
Fable was 100% correct on the average lifespan of a rock gnome.
I believed Fable. I was just saying it just reminded me of somebody that says like with such confidence that like has no idea what they're talking about. But I know Fable does. So that's I trust Fable. All right. So we've established two of our characters, which is great. We'll have James do a little bit of an introduction next week before we do the actual play. Get to know Iquium. Iquium for a dream. And then we'll go into the actual play. So do you two have any questions or anything before we kick off next week?
I don't think so.
No? You feel good about your characters? Catherine, I'm more concerned about you because you're not really a D&D player, so
I don't know what I don't know.
You've played some one shots and things like that, so yeah, you don't know what you don't know, but you've got me, you've got James.
This podcast is for beginners. I'm a beginner.
You are a beginner. You are the perfect person for this podcast because
I'm the perfect guinea pig.
I was going to say lab rat.
Lab rat, guinea pig, you name it.
Yeah.
That'll be you. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be an adventure.
Yeah.
Speaking of an adventure, well, I'll talk more about it next week. But I am super excited. So when we were at PAX Unplugged, I stumbled upon there's a company out there that develops an app called Pocket Bard, and Pocket Bard is absolutely fantastic. It's a great tool for adding environmental sounds, music to your campaign. And there's all sorts of settings, towns, cities, dark streets, forests, ancient groves, dungeons, the dungeon lair, mountains, swamps, maelstroms, merchants. Like, it's just really cool. So like, let's look at the merchant setting. We go into a shop and what's the, ooh.
Oh, cool.
And you can add things like a little tension. Ooh. Maybe it's a little rainy outside.
This is blowing Fable's mind.
So cool.
And then
You're going to do that to me.
jump scare. It worked, didn't it? But then you can add. Then they've got music you can add over, and you can change the intensity of all these sounds. So, but then you can add the music over it. It's an amazing app, and so you can just have this kind of playing in the background as you go along.
Do they have music for my floor routine?
Yes.
That would be.
Yep, exactly.
If you could only see the floor, it's an amazing floor routine. We've got like synchronized floor routines on both sides of the table here. This is amazing.
Think how cool we would look.
We'd look so cool.
Dal is 6'5", I'm 3'5". We're side by side.
Yes.
Tumbling.
Yes, totally. Oh, you know what would be really cool? I'm just thinking about this. Dal, you've got horns. You got a piece of elastic.
Oh my god. Built-in slingshot.
Slingshot.
Oh my god.
Slingshot Zanros.
Yes.
That would be tremendous.
And we will practice to see how many
We will
flips I can do.
You can get some good airtime.
That'll be the
light.
acrobatics check.
Exactly.
We'll fling you right into battle.
Nice. Oh, that'll be fun.
Oh, we're gonna have a great time with this.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. I'm tremendously excited. So anyway, very excited about. Are you too excited for next week?
Yeah,
like
I'm
to actually,
excited.
like I know you're super excited because you've been itching to play some more D&D. So now, so your typical, your usual D&D group plays it pretty fast and loose with the rules. So
Yeah.
So how do you feel about being in more of a traditional D&D campaign?
Nervous.
Nervous?
I'm probably gonna screw up because we
That-
play
that-
very loosely.
I don't know anything, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, so this is going to be a big adventure for everybody.
We also only play like 3 times a year for 10 hours straight, so there's some differences.
Yes, very true. So yeah, we'll probably play for like 5 or 6 hours on Saturday.
Are you serious?
I was ready.
I know Fable's like, yes. Catherine's like, what the hell?
Like I'm married into this.
For better or for worse.
Oh my god. Okay. No, I mean, I'm excited. I think it'll be fun.
I think
Fable and James are 2 of my favorite people, so
Yeah.
it works out well.
I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. I hope so. I am going to do my best as a DM. Aw, so cute. I will do my absolute best as a DM to make this fun for you guys. I want you to have your Bemblebomble B&B. And I want you to find Fable, whatever you're looking for, whatever this is for your moon goddess. So I hope you accomplish all of your goals.
I hope so.
And remind me when we get there, when you eventually get your B&B.
Yeah.
So just remind me of that fact, because if you do establish the B&B,
Yeah.
hopefully we will probably roll to see like how successful it is.
Yeah.
So I want to like incorporate all that into the game. So how many guests you have at any given time, because you're not gonna be there.
No, I'm gonna need to find somebody to run it.
So you're definitely gonna have to. There's all sorts of NPCs in the town, and I may create one specifically for you to hire. I may find an NPC for you so you can hire them and employ them. So you're gonna have to pay salary to them and get the income. So hopefully that'll help fund some of your adventuring.
Can you also make sure that NPC is really good at cooking and likes to clean and is pleasant? Because I'm not going to be so pleasant, so I need someone pleasant in the B&B.
Why won't you be pleasant?
Because like my personality is very straightforward, and I'm going to say stupid stuff that's going to potentially offend people.
Excellent. So everybody, please listen in next week when we launch the actual play of this. So what we'll do is we'll play through a bunch of the adventure next week. The following week, we are going to, maybe Fable will come back. I think the following week is when we're going to talk about what happened. We'll do kind of a debrief and analysis of what happened, and then we'll also be cooking. So we will have our food segment. So we have the Heroes Feast cookbook. So if you've watched the D&D TV channel now, they have a show called Heroes Feast where they cook recipes from there. But we're going to use that book. We're going to use what's the other one? Recipes from the Multiverse or something about that.
We also have the one.
You got me the Critical Role,
Yeah.
the Critical Role cookbook. So we've got 3 different cookbooks we can choose from. So we're going to have to figure out. Maybe we'll make 1 or 2 things from all of those, and try them out. And so we'll eat some food and talk D&D and have a good time.
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. Thank you both so much for being here today. This was lovely. Lovely to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
I live here.
You live here, so it's you're kind of like
So does Fable mostly.
Yeah.
Usually.
I was here.
You were just here, so it's like, well, hey, come on the podcast. So anyway, all right. So next week, yes, actual play. We'll dive into Phandelver and Below, the Shattered Obelisk. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, that was definitive.
Oh, what was that?
Goodbye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Legends, Loot, and Lore. We hope you've enjoyed immersing yourself in the realms of legends, uncovering hidden loot, and delving into captivating lore. But the journey doesn't end here. For exclusive content, behind-the-scenes insights, and access to our community, visit legendslootandlore.supercast.com. There you'll be able to support the podcast, where you can join our Discord server for lively discussions and subscriber-only content, and connect with fellow enthusiasts. Stay connected with us on Instagram and Facebook at Legends, Loot, and Lore to continue on the quest. By following our social media channels, you'll be the first to know about upcoming episodes, bonus content, and exciting announcements. If you've enjoyed your time with us, we kindly ask you to rate and subscribe to this podcast. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue producing captivating episodes and embarking on new quests. Thank you for being a part of our journey. We're thrilled to have you by our side as we unravel the legends, uncover the loot, and delve deeper into the lore. Until next time.